Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to continue playing in my forever world, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to read some really wholesome stories that I found on Reddit. If you want to read along, the stories are in the description. My goal for this video is to get full iron armor, and hopefully I can achieve it. Alright, let's get into the first story. I threw my troubled little brother a big birthday party, and he almost cried from happiness. My little brother is what you'd call a problem kid. He's gotten into all kinds of trouble since he was 13. He has issues with authority and impulse control, but he's been working really hard the last year to overcome them. I know it's the classic blame game, but I think a lot of it was his old friend group. He's worked this whole year, got new friends last year, and improved his grades, but a lot of relatives/people in his life haven't noticed or credited him for this. His 17th birthday was a few weeks ago, and he asked if he could come spend the evening at my house with some friends for it. He said he didn't expect a party or anything special. It would just be nice to have a sleepover with his friends. I said yes, of course, and proceeded to plan a surprise party. My fiancé and I decked the house out in balloons and streamers and banners, made a fancy dinner, and bought stuff for banana splits after. The look on his face when he walked in, and later when we were singing, made it all worth it, and more. He was genuinely holding back tears when we sang and said, "I'm so happy right now." All in all, it was a smashing success. We finished with playing group games and watching a movie. I got lots of pictures and the singing on video, and now I'll always have his happiness to rewatch when I'm feeling down. It's the little things in life, and whenever someone is working hard to improve themselves, it should be celebrated. Alright, on to the next story. I got a boyfriend. I've never been in a relationship, and I have a boyfriend now. He's an old friend of mine with whom I recently reconnected. We clicked instantly, and have been dating for a week now. He's the best person I've ever met. I could spend hours and hours just sitting with him in silence and staring at what I thought could never be mine. I thought I wasn't destined for happiness, and he makes me so happy. I'm so in love, and I want him to know it every day. Alright, on to the next story. I have a really good dad. I have been thinking about how grateful I am to have such a good dad, and it makes me happy that we're so close. I feel like I can talk to him about mostly everything, and can go to him for advice and guidance in my life. He hugs me and tells me how much he loves me. Even if I'm having a bad day and am not in the best mood, he can usually cheer me up and make me laugh. He's always here for me and encourages me to be the best that I can be. I love him. So this is just a random appreciation post for my dad, and I hope that you have a good dad too. Alright, on to the next story. My dreams are coming true. I've been making silly indie music in my bedroom for about 5 years now, just for fun. Didn't really care to have views or anything. Over the past couple years, I noticed that more people were starting to listen. I was leaning into it, writing grants, writing more music, studying music in college. Then I did a mini tour of the world with a band through grants and DIY. I was getting recognized in random places, in Europe, in Canada, in the USA. I just released my first actually studio recorded album a couple months ago, and some music reviewer picked it up and got it to absolutely explode. The streaming numbers made me about $7,000 in the first month. I quit my job and put it into savings. I just feel so rewarded for my hobby. Safe to say I'm inspired to lean into this as a career. Alright, on to the next story. I replaced morning doom scrolling with sunlight, and everything changed. A few months ago, I noticed something was off. Every morning I woke up feeling tired, even after a full night's sleep. Before I even sat up, I was already on my phone. TikTok, Reddit, news, emails. By the time I got out of bed, my brain felt noisy and scattered. I brushed it off for a long time because it felt normal. Everyone checks their phone in the morning, but deep down, I didn't feel good. I felt foggy, irritable, and flat. I struggled to focus. My mood dipped early in the day, and most afternoons ended with a crash. I didn't want to completely overhaul my life. I barely had the energy for that. So instead, I decided to experiment with a few small habits and see what happened. I added a short walk outside most evenings. I started drinking water before coffee in the morning. I did a couple of short workouts each week, nothing intense. And the biggest change was this: no phone in the morning until I got real sunlight. At first, it felt strange. Just stepping outside and looking at the sky for a few minutes seemed almost too simple. But within a week, something shifted. My mornings felt calmer. I felt more awake without forcing it. My anxiety softened. Even my sleep improved, which I wasn't expecting at all. I wasn't perfect with it. I missed days. Some mornings were cloudy or rushed. But overall, that one change gave me a sense of steadiness I hadn't felt in a long time. It made mornings feel intentional instead of reactive. Alright, on to the next story. My girlfriend is amazing. We met on a dating app and became official a month ago. I thought I knew what I wanted in a partner, but I didn't even realize who she is was humanly possible. So first of all, on our first date, she offered to pay for both of us. I politely declined. Keep in mind, we live in an area where it's very expected for the man to pay, especially on the first date. Then the first time she came to my house, she didn't just get me a gift, but also got my cat a gift, some very nice cat toys. She posts about me on Instagram, has 2 pictures of me in her dorm room, one of which she literally had printed within 24 hours of us taking it. It's hard to explain the rest, but we're just so compatible, and she's so lovely. Alright, on to the next story, life after prison. Hey everybody, my name is Will and I'm from Florida. I wanted to take a moment and share a positive story that has put a smile on my face and might for you or for somebody else you may know. 2005 for me was a very hard year. I had fallen into the wrong crowd and got mixed up with people I had no business mixing with. I ended up going to prison. I am now out after 20 years. As you all can imagine, prison isn't for the faint of heart. It was hell on earth, as it's supposed to be. During my incarceration, I found a higher power and got clean and sober. I was fortunate enough to find a job with full benefits, making more than I ever thought imaginable. Is it as much as a lot of people in this country? No. Is it enough to pay my bills plus a little? Yes, it is. I am so grateful. When life kicks you hard, you have to get back up and keep trying. What we have done in our past does not define us. I never thought I could be so happy as I am now. Are things missing in my life? Sure. Do things always go the way I want them to? Not at all. Now I get to help people trying to clean up their lives and find sobriety. Here's to the next chapter of our lives. Stay positive. Make somebody smile. Support somebody, even if it's just to say you can do it. Alright, on to the next story. My elderly neighbor has been secretly watering my plants for months. I work long hours, and I've been struggling to keep my garden alive. I planted some flowers and a few tomato plants back in spring, mostly just to have something nice to look at when I come home, but I knew I wasn't giving them enough attention. Thing is, they've been thriving, like really thriving. Way better than they should be considering I maybe water them twice a week if I remember. Yesterday, I came home early because my meeting got canceled. As I pulled into my driveway, I saw my neighbor, this sweet woman in her 80s, who lives alone next door, standing in my garden with my hose watering my tomatoes. She didn't see me at first. She was just quietly going plant to plant, checking the soil, pulling a few weeds, taking her time with it. When she noticed me, she got a little flustered and apologized, said she hoped I didn't mind. She just noticed they looked thirsty one day a few weeks back, and it became a habit. She's been doing this for months apparently, every single day while I'm at work. I asked her why she never mentioned it, and she just shrugged and said she likes having something to tend to. Her husband used to do all the gardening before he passed and she missed it. I told her those are her plants now too. She can come over whenever she wants. She got a little teary and said that would be nice. Some people just help because they can. No recognition needed, no thank you expected. Just quiet kindness happening in the background while you're not looking. I'm gonna bring her some tomatoes when they're ready. How she's been caring for something of mine without asking for anything in return. It's the least I can do. Alright, on to the next story. A stranger saw me crying in my car and did something I'll never forget. I was having the worst day. Just found out my mom's cancer came back. Sat in my car in a parking lot, just absolutely losing it. Full ugly crying. Couldn't breathe. The works. This woman, probably in her mid-50s, knocked on my window. I thought she was going to tell me to move or ask if I was okay in that polite but uncomfortable way people do. Instead, she just said, "I'm not going to ask what's wrong, because that's none of my business, but I'm going to stand right here for 5 minutes while you cry, so you're not alone, and then I'm going to leave, and you'll never see me again." And she just stood there, outside my car, for 5 minutes, in the cold. Not on her phone, not looking around awkwardly, just present. When the 5 minutes were up, she tapped my window gently, gave me a small wave, and walked away. I don't know who she was. I'll never see her again. But in that moment, having someone just exist next to my pain without trying to fix it or make me explain it, it meant everything. Sometimes people surprise you with exactly what you need. Alright, on to the next story. My daughter handed me her toy, and it was just what I needed for my stress. I've been incredibly stressed out lately, to the point where my children are genuinely coming to my rescue, in the best ways they know how. The other day, I came home exhausted and overwhelmed after another long, draining day. I sat down on the couch and just zoned out, trying to process everything I still had left to do. My youngest daughter quietly walked up to me and handed me the flying spinner toy I'd gotten for her a few months ago. She didn't say much. She just placed it in my hands and looked at me with those big, concerned eyes. That simple gesture broke me. Amidst tears and genuine laughter at the sweetness of the moment, I hugged her tightly and thanked her. For the next couple of minutes, I just sat there with her, spinning that little toy and watching it hover and glide through the air. It was so simple, so mindless, and exactly what I needed. I felt lighthearted for the first time in weeks. My mind wasn't racing through tasks or deadlines. I was just present, playing with my daughter and enjoying a moment of peace. Come to think of it, I almost didn't even add that flying spinner to my Alibaba cart when I was ordering toys for the kids months ago. I remember hesitating because I felt like they already had enough toys and didn't need another one. I was so close to removing it before checking out. Little did I know back then that it would turn out to be such a source of comfort and stress relief for me. And sometimes our kids understand us better than we imagine. Alright, on to the next story. My coworker's kid made my heart gush and gave me baby fever. One of my coworkers invited me and a few others to a barbecue party in their yard. He has 3 kids, 2 girls and 1 boy. They're all super sweet and gorgeous. After some time, which we spent together eating and talking to each other, my coworker asked his children who of the guests they wish would stay the night the most. The boy instantly pointed at me enthusiastically and said him. Then he did something which made me smile and warmed up my heart. He walked up to me and hugged my leg, insisting that I stay. It seemed that his father was eager about the idea as well, because he proposed to me that I stay over for real. Unfortunately, I had to go home later, as I wasn't prepared to stay there for the night, even though the host was insistent. This occasion made my heart gush even stronger when I got back home. This was the first time anyone besides my mother has showed any kind of affection to me in years, so I felt blessed. This little boy's simple desire to be together with me made me feel wanted and loved. It also awakened my strong desire to have a child, which I had been trying to push into the back of my mind for a long time. I feel the urge to start a family so badly right now. I need to have a kid like him, or hopefully, several ones like him, who I'd adore from the bottom of my heart. That was the last story. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know any video suggestions. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching and subscribe.